So, as an award-winning service provider and judge, what do you think makes a successful business?
It's really hard
Hard
because
question.
it's
So many things.
so many things. I think, honestly, having experience in many different things, so not just your passion, but also, like I said, like marketing and branding, and I think it's a bit of personality as well. I think people buy into people, and if they like you as a practitioner and they trust you, they're going to come back. It's just about, I think it's many things.
It's layered.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't just be really good at one thing. You have to wear like a million hats and be able to juggle 15 plates at a time.
Hello guys, and welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today we have a very special episode in a long line of very special episodes. We are travelling up and down the UK to visit some of the industry's leading practitioners and experts in their fields. Whether that is in aesthetics or in beauty, these people have influenced their industry in some way, have achieved huge success, and are full of amazing stories, inspiration and advice for both you and for me. We'll be visiting them on site at their own clinics, salons or studios and getting their views, their thoughts and opinions on their careers. There will be something in every single discussion to take away and apply to your own business. So stick around and grab yourself a pen. Sometimes all it takes is a small nugget from an entire conversation that can spark the biggest change in your business. So without further ado, it's time to welcome our guest. Hello everybody, I'm just with the lovely Ella here in, I would say sunny Cheltenham, but it's not sunny whatsoever today, and it's absolutely chucking it down, but we are in the amazing area of Cheltenham today. So we are at Laserase Clinic. Thank you for having us today, and welcome to the Face It podcast, Ella Rose Davies. Just a little bit of an intro for those of you that are listening. Ella has been voted Best Laser Business for 2023, and that was the MBAs. We've got the award here. And you are a judge at this year's 2024 UK Beauty Awards. And the award that you are judging for is Best Laser Clinic. Is that right?
Yeah.
So amazing. Going straight into it, I'd love to just get a bit of background about you, Ella. So tell me a little bit about Ella. Who are you? What were you doing before Laserase is as we see it today?
Okay, so after school, I went to study business at Loughborough. From there, I went to work for doing marketing for the UK's biggest digital textile printing company. It's a very odd route that I got into this from, I'll tell you. Very interesting. And then I went and ended up being a manager in John Lewis while studying cosmetology and dermatology. And then I went to Oxford International School of Beauty. Then got my obsession with lasers and climbed the ladder, learning level 4, level 5. Started my clinic, and now I've got the most beautiful clinic I'm so grateful for. And I'm also a national trainer as well for laser. So
it's a stunning clinic. It really, really is. And we'll give you a bit of a tour later, guys. For those of you that are interested, you can keep watching, and I'm sure we'll have lots of shots sliced in where you can see it. But it's interesting that you mentioned the marketing, because I can see that in what you do, your brand, the way that, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, guys, but just little pockets of purple from the outfit to the flowers to decor. You've got it just kind of dotted everywhere, and that tells me you've got a really good understanding about brand. Yeah. So it's interesting that you kind of went the marketing route early on in your career. So you've done a lot of study from what I can gather there, and you've gone kind of the really long route around, which I think is amazing. Obviously, there's a lot of CPD and stuff that you can do now.
yeah.
Do you find that doing the route that you have done has been really beneficial in building your business?
Absolutely. I don't think even down to the price list, the branding, I've done it all myself. Instagram also, I've done everything myself. I think it is so important to have an understanding of like the vision for a business and its soul and its heart. Like, I wanted to go for luxury, but at the same time I wanted it to be loving and kind and special and warm and welcoming. And I look for that in my staff members. I look for that in everything that we offer, the way that we talk to people. I don't just want people to have an average opinion of Laserase. I want there to be like true love in their heart when they talk about Laserase. Yeah.
I get that from you. Like, as soon as we walked in, you girls like so welcoming and friendly, and just like straight away you catch a vibe, I think, when you walk in a place. Especially as a client, you know, you might be quite nervous already if you've never had treatment before, you've never met this person before.
Yeah.
Laser, you're going to strip down, you know, 9 times out of 10 you're not going to have a lot on, so you're already kind of in a vulnerable position, I think, as a client. So that's really important when you're coming in, to feel quite warm, friendly, and think, you know what, I don't mind getting my kit off too much in front of this person. So what was it about Laser then that was so appealing to you? You went to Oxford
International School of Beauty. And then basically I had a massive obsession with laser. I have no idea where it came from, but I ended up studying like the inner components of lasers, how they work, cosmetically, the things that they can achieve. But basically my true passion for lasers, I think, came because of like personal experiences. So I've got scars. I got burnt with boiling hot water when I was 1, and I was always searching for a way when I grew up to help myself improve my skin. And I think I didn't ever want anyone else to feel the way that I felt as well, being uncomfortable in their own body and their own skin, and wanting to improve themselves for their own self-esteem reasons. And I know that lasers are the one thing that can make a difference to people's skin. So whether it be rosacea, scarring, pigmentation, it's the one thing that will make a difference. And I think because I've got the experience of how it feels to not be happy, truly happy in myself, and have a solution for it, I'm more empathetic to people that want to improve the way they look as well. And it's not for a reason that's going to affect, it's more sort of the I've got that bit back. So I'm like, no. So what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to get this out, is the fact that it's more for self-esteem than for
aesthetics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, that's having a passion behind why you're doing what you're doing is a massive component of success in the end. Yeah. And I think the fact that you've got that very personal relationship with your treatments, you know, and at the end of the day, anyone can learn treatments and kind of keep adding to their list and have, you know, 50 treatments on a list, and that's all well and good. But actually, when you've got a real personal relationship with one in particular, you usually find that you tend to excel at that particular treatment. Yeah. So that's really interesting. Were you a client of laser before you studied laser?
No.
So you found the solution to your problem through study?
Yeah.
And how did you find that when you had your first kind of course of laser? What was your experience?
Like pure emotion and like, I think, gratitude as well, that there was a solution, and then feeling that I can help other people that feel so, I can't explain the feeling of having something on your body that you just would do anything to change. So I just wanted to help people feel the way that I felt and benefit in the ways that I did, and knowing that I could help people improve. And I'm an absolute nightmare when it comes to pricing, because all I want to do is help people, and that's not great for business.
No. You've got to find a balance.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
So I charge you treatments that are more sort of spa-like, but when it comes to actually helping people, and I know I can do that, and I've got the education, and I've got the lasers, like the best technology available, it is heart melting when you have someone in front of you crying their eyes out because you've changed their self-esteem, the way they view themselves. I can't explain that feeling.
No, there's a job satisfaction that you can't buy, really, isn't it?
And it's not just about giving someone a bit of hair removal or you know, helping them a bit with pigmentation. It's people that have been deeply rooted, like affected their self-esteem their whole life from issues, and being able to, the relief on their faces, or the gratitude is absolutely priceless. I would do this for free for that feeling and to help people in that way, absolutely.
If I didn't ask for it. And that's where you and that's where you have to be careful. That's where your business mind comes into it, right? There's a fine line. How did you build this business then into the successful clinic that it is today? Like, what did that journey look like? You got your education, you started working, what did you start with? Because obviously you don't start with the best laser, I mean, maybe you did, but you don't start generally with the best laser machines,
Yeah.
you know.
So I started with my initial laser, but for me, I think it was just a dedication. I won't lie to you when I say I worked 7 hours a day, 24 hours a day, answering messages when I could. It came before everything. And in some ways that breaks my heart as well, because I've got a 3 and a 5-year-old that missed out a lot on their mum. But my dedication and passion to drive Laserase forward and the plans that I have in the future is all for them. You know?
Yeah, it's going to pay off in the end.
Absolutely. And it's like a sacrifice that I've made to go from a tiny little room where I'm putting every single part of me into it, messages, treatments. I live an hour away as well.
Oh, wow.
Which probably doesn't help.
Yeah.
I've got 2 children in 2 different counties being looked after.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you do what you do to make it happen. And I think, do you feel, you know, did you have your children before Laserase? Did they come just after? Because I do find that women and mums in particular have a very different kind of drive.
Yeah.
I do find that.
Absolutely.
So what order did it arrive in? And did you find that passion just like doubled when your kids kind of came into it and were like, I have to make this work?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, to be honest, all of it happened in COVID. My children are my business.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it was like such a process, and possibly the hardest time to ever start a business as well.
Definitely. Especially it's such a physical business.
I know. But my heart, my soul, everything, like, this business is everything to me. Helping people is everything to me.
It's a third baby though.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a third child. And I think anyone who runs a business, no matter what kind of business, when they're really serious about it, do speak about it like it is another child. Absolutely. It requires that nurturing, it requires that investment, time, money, energy. It's just the same. And, you know, that's what makes it so hard to let go of sometimes, you know, when it comes to selling the business or whatever you want to do next. It's really, really difficult to part with, because there's every little piece of you within that.
My heart and soul is in this business, like, completely.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law asked me the other day, it probably isn't relevant, but if I regret it because I never see my family, and no, not at all. Every single second has been worth it.
Yeah.
And every second that I will put in future will be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to have that unshakable belief. Did you find you got started, you had your initial machines, you were starting to get bookings. Was there kind of a moment where you thought, I'm on something here, like this is gonna work?
I knew before I started.
Did you? Yeah.
Like, I just had the deepest feeling of, I'm not the most confident person either. I might look it, but I'm not. Self-belief, but passion, drive. I knew it was going to work. I was determined. But I think you get a feeling, a true feeling of something's going to work, and you know, in your heart, you know it's going to work. And
you can't explain it to people in your life at the time.
No.
As well, because I think I had a similar experience with a previous business, and sort of, you know, partners and family were a bit like, are you sure? Are you sure? And it's like, this is going to work.
You just know.
I can't tell you why. You're just going to have to trust me. And obviously when you're investing money and time and you're getting premises, it's like, it feels like on a whim to everyone else because they're not in your world. So it's not until you're kind of proof of concept and you've got the clients and you've got, you know, the assets are growing that people are like, oh, actually, yeah, and you can see it now, whereas you just know in your heart initially.
You see, you have, it's not even a vision, it's just a feeling of just like, it's going to work. I know with every part of me.
Yeah, and you have to have that unshakable belief to get through those quite tricky early days. How was it for you building a client base then off the back of, obviously, it was during COVID that you kind of brought this idea and this concept together. Lockdown's finished. At that point, because to me, you've built this pretty quick. We're only in 2024 now. So how quick was it after that you started to see like your bookings ramp up?
Pretty much straight away. Yeah. But I'd say 80% of our clients come from Instagram, and people underestimate the power because you've not got a short frontage either.
No.
So people really underestimate the power of social media and social media marketing and what that can bring. So really quickly, actually, and now I've got, 4 members of staff, a nurse, I'm about to take over larger premises. And there's some more plans that I can't quite talk about yet as well, but it's massive. Yeah, we've got some really big plans. And yeah, if you think this is quick, just wait and see what we've got planned next. Absolutely.
So what do you think played a role in that? It's interesting because you see a lot at the moment, particularly people who have launched in the last 12, 18 months are struggling in that space. Do you think you almost caught it at the right, you were on that wave? Everyone was coming out of lockdown. Everyone was excited to get back out into the world. There was promise, there was hope, there was like, can't wait to spend my money. And we've had a lot of challenges since then, economically. Businesses have struggled. Do you think there's an element of timing involved with things as well? Do you think you just had that secret sauce? Like, what are your thoughts on how did I do that in that time? How did we get those bookings that came together so quickly? What was kind of your secret sauce? Because everyone has something different, I find.
The only thing I could bring was passion and kindness. And that is honestly, I think, the only thing that I've done differently to other people, and an element of luck as well. Like you say, timing.
It's business, yeah.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that businesses that have come about in the last 18 months, I'm a big advocate for supporting other businesses. Like I train other laser clinics and I really want them to succeed. I'll give them everything I possibly can to help them. So it's hard when you do see people not do well and you feel guilty in a way as well, because it's a difficult balance.
That's because you care, though. That's your personality type coming out, because you genuinely care about each student that leaves you going on to make it a success, because you feel it's a direct reflection on your... I'm the same way with my coaching. You know, I do it because I'm passionate about bringing other people into their power. So if they've not quite gone and done it, it's like, oh, where did I go wrong with that? Is this something I did? But it's not, because you've got to be able to go away with that education and run with it and implement it, right? But it's interesting you touch on luck, and I will just expand on that. There is an element of that, and I don't think we talk about it enough in business. There is an element of timing. There is an element of the market fit at the time, the demand there. So people, you know, do need to do their research before going into something as well and thinking, is this the right time for me to do it?
I think a lot of people underestimate how hard it is as well. Yeah. If you're not willing to give up every second of your life and your social life and your family, don't bother starting a business.
Yeah. And again, there's that anti-hustle culture. And I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before. For those listening, will probably know what I'm talking about. I understand it to a point when it's toxic. However, we have to be careful perpetuating this idea that graft is not a thing, because it is, and it's the reality of how we make things happen. So while it can be toxic to overgraft and overwork and put ourselves in an early grave, not good, but let's not acknowledge people like you who have had to graft to get where they are. They have put in the hours. This didn't come easy.
No, absolutely not.
We need to make people aware of that. It does take a lot of effort, right?
Everything, every single part of you.
Yeah. And if you're not willing to do that,
don't bother.
It's probably not going to go anywhere. But why invest the time and money, right? So there's a lot to do the training. It's not cheap. So when did you decide to become a trainer then? And why did you choose off-qual? Because yours are off-qual.
Yeah. I wanted to offer the best. If you're going to do it right. And there's hundreds of people offering CPD, but not many people offer what I offer. So it's more unique, bespoke. And obviously the regulations in the industry are changing. So higher level 4, level 5 regulations are needed, qualifications are needed. So I just started now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Started means to go on. And I think because you came from that background, you know, you did all of kind of the legwork. You went and did your cosmetology school stuff, your 4s, your 5s. So you've kind of gone that route. And it's funny, I kind of went down a similar route just because I came from a dental background. So for me, it was just kind of expectation. That's what you did. So that's what made the most sense to me. So yeah, I can understand that. What do you love most then about training your students?
Seeing the spark of when they've really learned something and when they're proud of doing it, you know, and you can see that they've learned, yeah, and when they do well as well, I do love that, and the messages of like gratitude, and that's really good. That's kind. I just love helping people. It's a real weakness of mine. I mean, I employ half my clients, so not great.
Do you want to jump? It's not even like that. It just happens, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I care a lot. I really, really do, about my students, about my clients, and truly about my staff as well.
How do you cope with that though? Because that's wonderful, but there's a caveat to that. You stay awake at night, don't you? Worrying about things. How do you take a break from it? Like, what do you do as a business owner to have some sort of downtime where you can have a moment to yourself, where you switch off, where you're not constantly putting everybody and everything else first? Do you manage to do that, or are you still figuring that out?
I'm still figuring that out, because the second that I leave here, I've got my 3 and 5-year-old still thinking about business with my 3 phones, and the academy and the clinic and the girls, payroll, VAT, everything swirls around your head. I don't manage it, and it's something that I need to learn, and I'm openly willing for anyone to give me something power to do that, because I cannot switch off.
Yeah.
I don't think many business owners can, but
No.
yeah.
No, you have to find your little ways. And I think I'm still learning that. I'm kind of coming into my 5th year next year. And so I'm just getting to that phase where I think I'm finding ways to grab those moments. But it is difficult. It's hard. How are we doing for time?
Yes.
We're good for one more question?
Yeah, absolutely.
One more.
Yeah.
So in your students then, what struggles do you see the most from the newbies that are coming in? So they've not done any training before. What are their main struggles that they're having at the moment?
There's so many different lasers in the market, and there's so much technology. It's really, really hard to teach people the way that different lasers work. And also, if they bought a different laser to what I train on, it's then me having to go to their clinic and train them on their own individual laser, because then they haven't had good enough training from the manufacturer and they don't know how to use it. So it's the technology. It's not easy to use. It's underestimated how much you need to know and what can go wrong as well. And how careful you have to be with lasers. They're very strong devices. And it's skin types, it's, you know, it's settings. But when you get it right, you really get it right.
It's like anything though worth having, I think, isn't it? Like, you've really got to do, you've kind of got the surface level education and then you've got the deep understanding of that particular treatment. And I think that comes through time and further study.
Experience as well.
Experience.
You cannot teach experience.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, it's. I can give them everything I know mentally, but it comes with time and practice and using different lasers and different clients and the results you get and how to sort of tweak it. But we are proud of our results. They are, you know, they're top notch. That's just come out of time and practice, you know.
And I suppose you hit the ground running with having, you know, you were booking out quite quick. So it was like, hit the ground running, get those in, and you're doing it quickly. So you're learning quickly. So your business is building quicker and your results are getting better and better and better.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas I think some practitioners, when they come out of the gate, they're struggling to find clients. You know, their skill set's lapsing because they're maybe only doing one every so often. And it can be quite tricky. You know, what do you advise your students in terms of models, case studies? Like, what's your advice with that?
So much practice. You know, different skin tones, different body sizes, shapes, hair colours. As much practice as you can possibly get. You know, do treatments for free, do friends, do family, do anyone you can get your hands on. You know, because those people, for me, turned into clients because they were so happy with their results. They wanted to come back and pay.
Yeah.
And then it grows from there. And it's word of mouth and Instagram, and just posting regularly, frequently is so important. Exhausting. Exhausting.
Are you on TikTok?
We are. I'm working on that. We've got our lovely Amrit on it.
Have.
TikTok's not my jam. I'm great on Instagram, you know, I do all that myself, but TikTok's a real struggle for me.
It's
we're
so much work,
going to-
which is why I stuck it in there, because obviously I know that your Instagram does really, really well, and you're really, really good on that. And I was interested to know, because that's the one that I've struggled to kind of
do. Yeah. I think it's our age, though. We're just not.
I do right in that generation. As well. Yeah. I got it right with the previous business, struggled with this one, and I think it's just a different demographic, and we need those eyeballs on it, the ones that know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
I think.
She's a pro.
It's a skill set of its own.
Watch the TikTok space.
So what training do you offer, and what can your trainees hope to gain from coming to you out of, instead of someone else?
So we offer obviously laser hair removal level 4, and also now tattoo removal level 5. Level 4 skin rejuvenation, so pigmentation. I forgot what I said halfway.
You were right.
Red veins, rosacea, acne, all those sort of treatments. So specifically laser, but we are looking to obviously expand the training, and I've got a nurse that does all the injectables. We'd love to get her training in that as well. So
there's room for growth there, isn't there?
Absolutely. Obviously, I think the other question was about what I can offer that other people don't. Passion. I think there's a lot of people that offer training out there that are just doing it for the money. And don't want to sit there for the extra hours and train the students. And I can give them heart, I can give them passion. And
it's what I want when I'm paying that kind of money. I want to come to see someone that really wants me there and wants to train me.
And wants to see you succeed.
Yeah.
Because my students are a reflection on me. If I have to do extra training with them, I will. Even if that's at the cost of me. It's... When they say where they've trained, I want people to look at them, see Laserase, and see what a good job I've done. Not, oh, she's lacking education, she needs more training. That would be the worst thing ever for my brand, my reputation. Yeah, my students are a complete reflection of my business and how well I've done as a person as well, and as a trainer, and how confident they feel.
So as an award-winning service provider and judge, what do you think makes a successful business?
It's really hard because
Hard question.
It's so many things. Yeah, so many things. I think, honestly, having experience in many different things, so not just your passion, but also, like I said, like marketing and branding, and I think it's a bit of personality as well. I think people buy into people.
Yeah.
And if they like you as a practitioner and they trust you, they're going to come back. It's just about, I think it's many things.
It's layered.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't just be really good at one thing. You have to wear like a million hats and be able to juggle 15 plates at a time. You truly have to put yourself out there. Say yes to opportunities. Believe in yourself. And if it doesn't come off, then at least you tried.
You'll never know if you don't give it a go, right?
Exactly.
And sometimes you can have a really nice surprise.
Yeah.
And I think 9 times out of 10, it is a real surprise to most people.
Absolutely.
I don't think the people who do win them think they were going to win.
No, I don't. Absolutely not. I know that when we won our award, I was just like, the feeling of just like, well, wow, it just hits you and you see your name, like Laserase Clinic on a giant screen, and like, it's like everything's been worth it, and it has helped our business. It builds a lot of trust. It builds a lot of client belief in you as well. But yeah, that's...
What would you say to people who don't believe in helping to build that authority of a clinic? It helps you to stand apart from your competitors.
Absolutely.
So do you come from that camp? And what do you say to people who put them down? For me, I suppose I would say, give them a go.
Yeah, I truly believe people that put things down, it's just fear of not achieving if they entered, to be perfectly honest. I'm not really in camp negative. I'm very, very positive. I just truly think people that say, I don't do awards, I wouldn't do awards. It's that they have no self-belief in themselves. It's not reflection on the person entering or putting themselves out there or achieving. It's a complete reflection of themselves and their self-esteem.
Yeah. Glass half empty mindset.
Exactly.
What's your personal goals then at this stage of your career now? I know you can't talk about some of the things that you're doing, so they're a bit hush hush still. But what's your goals? Where are you heading?
So obviously I dream big. I'm a big dreamer. There's a lot more to achieve. I do want more clinics in more locations, with the right staff. I'm very careful with who I employ. Certain mentality, certain personality traits. But yeah, thinking big. Want next door. We're hopefully launching Laserase Spa as well, which is very exciting. Yeah, we've got big dreams, big hopes in great destinations, and I guess you'll have to find out where.
Exciting. We'll be keeping an eye on you, of course, anyway. What can you see coming in the future of laser skin and aesthetics then? You've got an aesthetics lady here, nurse, haven't you? So you kind of are in touch with it and you understand what's going on in the industry. What can you see coming in the next 5 years?
As in regulations wise, or
anything, regulations, treatments, trends, anything that you've kind of picked up on with your expertise in your area?
I think there's a lot more to come from the aesthetic side of things. I know our nurse she's so up to date, Gwendy, with everything that's going on. She'll buy the best products. I know she's going to be buying them from Faces soon as well, which is amazing. The best quality, and she's always ahead of the game. So whatever is out there, she will offer. I know that. But it's hard to see what's coming. I've got some plans when it comes to the laser side of things and a patent pending on something as well.
I feel like that's a little bit of an exclusive. Yeah, you can just drop in that.
Yeah,
exciting.
Absolutely. So I am all about improving this industry, what can be offered, and again, helping people, helping clinic, the benefits that as well laser injectables can bring. I think it's booming. People, why is it that all the clothing shops are closing down and all the aesthetics clinics
taking over
are
the unions?
Yeah. People would rather invest in their body and themselves than on fashion or clothes that aren't going to last as long. So yeah, I think it's only going to expand and expand and expand and become more and more profitable for everyone involved, and that will help clients, clinics. We're all teams. We all need to work together. We all need to collaborate. I'm a true believer that we can all succeed and we can do it together. It's people that don't believe that and don't work with other people and work against them.
They're going to struggle.
Yeah, they're really going to struggle in this industry.
Yeah,
massively.
Not to come from a non-competitive mindset and collaborate more. So collaboration, not competition, for sure, is going to be the winning formula. And those that are unable to do that will get left behind. Yeah. I think we're entering into more of that era now. I would agree. We're coming towards the end of the podcast. Yeah. I could go on and on all day with you, I think, because you're so interesting. You've got so many great points, and I think we've got quite a similar mindset on things. But I suppose to kind of round it up, tell us your proudest moment to date.
Winning the National Beauty Award. Yeah, absolutely, it was the proudest moment. And my business was a bit smaller then as well, so it was, I don't know, it's that feeling of like all that work.
It's validation, I suppose, from your peers, isn't it?
And seeing, I must have had 2,000-3,000 messages from people and reading through them, and I've applied to every single one. And it just, I can't explain that feeling of, you so deserve it and you've changed my life, and messages like that. And it's just like, I just can't explain how much that means.
Like, see you again.
I know I am. I really am, because I really care. Yeah. I truly care about my clients, about my girls that work here, about my customers, about my students. I care.
You set me off it. Stop. But that's amazing. No, well done you. You deserve it, clearly. I've only met you for what, now? And I can clearly see that you deserve absolutely everything that you've got. And, you know, congratulations on building the clinic to where it is. I can only imagine where you're going to be in the next 5 years from now. You've got lots of plans, exciting. You've given me a little bit of tidbit of what that looks like. So, of course, we'll keep in touch and we'll be back, hopefully, to get a bit more on that. But well done, you. If you could just let our listeners know where they can find you online.
Yeah, absolutely. So Laserase Clinic. So we're on Instagram, Laserase Clinic. The same on TikTok. And obviously www.laseraseclinic.co.uk.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me, Ella, and thank you for having us. And we'll witness some treatment in a bit as well. So we'll get that online. Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you so much.